I'm Ellis Martin, and this is Money Talk Radio. Join me now for a conversation with James Longshore, the co-founder and CEO of Xtra-Gold Resources Corp, trading as XTG on the Toronto Stock Exchange and in the U.S. on the OTC as XTGRF. Xtra-Gold Resources has a dominant land position in the highly prospective Kibi Greenstone Belt, which represents the last greenstone belt to be drilled and developed in Ghana. The company holds the mineral rights to 5 concessions totaling 226 square kilometers within the Kibi Gold Belt, a Birimian greenstone belt geologically analogous to the neighboring Ashanti Gold Belt, with 140 million ounces of proven gold reserves discovered to date. The company has made a gold discovery on its southernmost property, the Apapam Concession. Xtra-Gold is conducting an extensive drill program with the goal of significantly increasing the mineral resource. The company has a strong treasury with over $13 million in cash and liquid assets, with zero debt, and has a contracted alluvial mining project with locals that generates the majority of the funds for exploration activities. Mr. Longshore has been with Xtra-Gold since 2009, overseeing the mining project and exploration activities of the company. James has more than 25 plus years business investment experience in resource companies. James, welcome to the program. It's great to visit with you today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Ellis. Looking forward to it.
If you don't mind, give us an overview of Xtra-Gold in Ghana.
Well, we're one of the last big multi-million ounce potential hard rock deposits left. As you know, I've been working there personally since 2009, and I staked the ground in 2003, so when gold was under $300 an ounce. Ghana is a very mature mining jurisdiction. We're surrounded by 7 major producers in our country, in our small geographic country. Very stable. We're one of the most stable in Africa, and we produce about 4 million ounces a year in a country about the size of Oregon. So it's a very prolific gold belt.
It's a very prolific area, I understand, with the Ashanti Gold Belt, which is right next door, producing about 130 million ounces over time. Great area of the world.
Yeah, so the Ashanti Gold Belt, which is right next to our Kibi Gold Belt, has been heavily worked, and there's been many 10 million ounce deposits found there, the largest one being a 60 million ounce deposit. Like you said, it ranks in the top 10 gold belts in the world. And we staked the adjacent gold belt, the Kibi Gold Belt, in 2003 when no one wanted it. And we're pioneering the first hard rock discovery there. We've made the discovery. The first gold shoot's just over 1.2 million ounces. It's all open-ended, and we think it's going to be a major multi-million ounce discovery.
And in large part, you are self-funded with alluvial on your property, or placer, I should say, and you've got great assistance there locally with what you call a community mining project. Please elaborate on that.
So that's another thing that makes us very unique for gold explorers, that we're self-funding with cash flow. In 2010, you know, in a lot of these countries, they have artisanal miners. So in 2010, the artisanal miners were infringing on our boundaries. So I went and contracted the 6 biggest artisanal miners in the area and formalize them, and they're mining the alluvial in the floodplain quite a distance from where we're drilling our hard rock, a few kilometers away, but we're up high in the hills drilling for the hard rock, and all our alluvial community mining partners are producing cash flow and gold for us, and we're doing a revenue share where they get the bulk of it, but we're generating enough that we are able to use all that excess revenue to do our hard rock drilling, which is very unique.
So for the most part, you don't have to go to the market for funding.
Yeah, so we haven't been to the market since November of 2010, since our IPO. We've raised 10 million once to do the first drill program, and we haven't been back. And we've drilled over 100,000 meters and about 600 drill holes in the resource, and we've only drilled about less than 2% of the property. So we think it's got a shot at being a very significant gold deposit. But we have not been back to the market. So our share count is actually below our IPO because we've actually had an issuer bid too, where we canceled a lot of the shares.
You canceled about 5 million shares, is that right?
So we're over 5 million now. We're on the bid because we think our share value is significantly undervalued compared to our asset, like most gold explorers that have good properties. So we've been aggressive buying back shares on the issuer bid. So we've gone from about 52 million shares to just going below 46 million outstanding now.
And I think 38 million of those shares are controlled by major investors and management.
Yes, there's myself and my co-founder. We each own with our families about 6 million shares, and we have the rest about 5 or 6 large shareholders, probably around 50% plus of key shareholders, let's call them, that were with us early days when we started the project. So they're longer term investors, and they're looking at Xtra-Gold as a way to have leverage to the gold price at a very affordable cost.
Well, with about 55, almost 56,000 acres or 226 square kilometers in unexplored territory in your district, district. How do you intend to stage out exploration over time? And at what point do you decide to do a transaction?
Right. So that's a good question. So we have a massive land position. I mean, you could be drilling there for 30, 40 years potentially. So what we've done is we focused on what we call the Kibi Gold project, which is just one concession of our 5. And we've drilled out a strike length of about 2 kilometers, which is just a little over a mile of the first gold shoot, which is the 1.2 million ounce plus. So we're focusing around that resource to drill right now. We're just stepping out on 2 adjacent gold bearing shoots that are analogous to it. So we want to prove up all the open pit potential in that vicinity. And we're staying very focused and disciplined. If that answers your question, we're not running around our whole gold belt. We're going to prove up the first major gold discovery. And then our company, if we decide that we don't want to go to production, there'll be lots of suitors with the 7 producers in Ghana. We have 3 of the top gold producers, Newmont, Goldfields, Anglo Ashanti, and then we have 4 mid-tier producers. So lots of people will be interested in this project as the resource grows.
Well, I know that Goldfields is very active with regard to mergers and acquisitions, and they acquired a Cisco maybe last year, but certainly you're a target at some point. I guess that would be your decision.
Yeah, I mean, we're not quite there yet. Our business plan is very simple. We're at 1.2 million ounces and growing, and we've only, like I said, drilled a very small fraction of that land position, only about 2%. So we want to grow the resource well over 2 million ounces of drilling, and then we'll look to see if we want to partner with someone to accelerate the drill programs. But right now, a logical suitor more than Goldfields might be Xinjiang. The Chinese company just bought the Achim mine next door to us, which next door is about 30 miles away geographically. And that was a 10 million ounce deposit that the Xinjiang, the largest Chinese producer, just bought for 1 billion. And they had a resource left of 2.8 million ounces. So they'll need excess tonnage to fill that plant. So there may be some synergies there. So that's probably the most logical one as our resource grows. Goldfields and Anglo are in the gold belt next to us, stepping out probably another 100 kilometers, roughly, just to give you an idea.
With about 46 million shares out there, give or take, and a share price near $2 Canadian and $1.40 US, what is the potential opportunity, and we're speculating here, and we're biased, for investors coming in at this point? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say very simply, you can buy, if you strip out our 15 million cash and give us a value per ounce, we're trading at $40 an ounce in the ground. As our rescore surpasses 2 million, I would say at $2,500 gold, this asset shouldn't be less than probably $150 an ounce in the ground. So we're trading at 40, should be trading at maybe 3 times this value if we got taken out. And as the resource grows, we can increase that. I'm hoping we can add 500 to 600% return over the next 2 to 3 years. That's my goal personally. I mean, I own one of the biggest shareholders. However, if we ever hit a major gold vein and gold goes higher, those metrics change, as you know. So it's an exciting project. It's got huge upside. And my job as CEO with my team we're in a gold market now, is to maximize shareholder returns, because like I said, most of our shareholders have been with us since, believe it or not, 2009 or even a little longer when we did our first private. Now is the time to do it because we're in what I would call a significant bull market for gold, and I think it's going to continue. You see gold hitting new highs every day. I won't get into all the reasons why, but there's smarter people than me that know that. At the end of the day, we have a premium asset here, and as you know, there are very few good premium exploration gold assets. So our company is very unique. We've got the money to do our business plan. So now we just need to find a few more gold shoots, and the company shareholders will be very happy at this level.
Well, James, it's great chatting with you for the very first time here. I look forward to an update in the very near future. All the best to you. Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks a million, and we hope to come back.
I've been speaking with James Longshore, the co-founder and CEO of Xtra-Gold Resources Corp, trading as XTG on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and in the U.S. on the OTC as XTGRF. For Money Talk Radio and the Ellis Martin Report, I'm Ellis Martin. Find us at ellis.gold.